Welcome to Stage 1 of the BP Ultimate Rally Raid Portugal. It's time to get the party started after the riders and drivers were given a warm send-off last night. Even the rain couldn't dampen spirits as this third edition officially got underway. The traditional starting position ceremony for the bikers. Sometimes they know exactly where they want to be. Sometimes they have to get their thinking caps on.
Yeah, for this one we're going to choose number 8.
8th position for Ross Branch.
I choose 11.
7.
6.
Position 6.
4.
Number 4 for Daniel Sanders. And we're done with the first 13 to start the race.
After several days of glorious sunshine in Grandela, the riders were greeted by rainfall this morning. The ground already muddy after the heavens finally opened last night, so it was time to get ready for a tough day in the saddle, 180 kilometres in cold and wet conditions. Most of us would probably have taken a rain check, but these guys are cut from a different cloth. First off the line was Nacho Cornejo, who ended up top of the start list after the top 10 from the prologue made their choices last night. The Chilean is a fantastic opener in the open desert, but Baja-style tracks aren't so much his thing, especially in the wet. Unsurprisingly, he lost over 11 minutes. He was caught by Skylar Howes and Daniel Sanders and couldn't keep their pace, but preferred to look on the bright side.
Overall, I'm having fun. This is not my strong point, but I need to work a lot on this, so yeah, enjoying the riding.
Thank God it's finished, was the first thing Luciano Benavides said when we asked him about this stage. Not the best day for the World Championship leader, who's gone with the harder rally tyre this week and struggled with grip over the muddy tracks. His knee was also giving him a bit of grief as he finished at 7 minutes down in 8th position. Antanas Kanopkinas spent the first 70k or so trying to avoid the water, then gave up and decided to go for a swim. He loved it out there though, in spite of an issue with the buzzer on his quad, and went fastest in class, nearly 2 minutes ahead of his teammate, Adomas Gancierius. Gonçalo Amaral also made it back-to-back wins in Rally 3, finishing almost 7 minutes clear of his brother Salvador. Rally 3 bikes are limited to 130 kilometres an hour compared to 160 for the rest, so Gonçalo did a solid job to finish inside the top 20. Now, Bruno Santos is one of the best in the business over this kind of terrain. He was third overall at this rally 2 years ago. And the Portuguese star went quicker than a lot of the factory bikers today, although a 2-minute speeding penalty dropped him from 4th to 5th. Santos the top dog in Rally 2 by 3 minutes from Niels Terek.
Very funny, very slippery, very wet, a lot of water. I enjoy a lot. We used to ride in the national championship with a lot of water in the winter, so I'm happy with the result.
Having grown up in the north of France, Adrian van Beveren knows a thing or two about rainfall as well. Like many of the European riders, he grew up on tracks like this and loves racing in Portugal, although he wouldn't say no to a bit more sand. Third place today, and at 35 years of age, he says he's in the best shape of his life. Tosha Sharaina finished just 8 seconds ahead of his teammate VBA in second place. His Honda briefly cut out after a deep river crossing towards the end of the stage, so he lost a couple of minutes to the stage winner. Overall though, he was pretty satisfied with the day's showing. For the second day running though, victory went to Daniel Sanders. The Aussie's another man who's done a lot of wet weather riding back home, and his superb handling of that KTM has left him top of the pile. Physically, he seems to have put his injury woes from the Dakar firmly behind him.
And I realised that I didn't even have my hose connected to my camelback, so it didn't drink the whole time. So there's 160 k's of not even having a sip of water. So yeah, we're looking forward to the next few days, and yeah, body's feeling strong and fine. Didn't notice anything.
No major surprise to see Sanders, Schreiner and Van Beveren on top, with a fine effort from Ross Branch in fourth. Ricky Brabeck and Edgar Canet both slipped down after getting 2-minute speeding penalties. Overall, Sanders leads Schreiner by 2 minutes 11 seconds. Meet Michael Simao, national TT champion, Baja Portalegre winner and a total newcomer to Rally Raid.
I started in motocross, then I did a couple of enduros, and then I fell in love with the Bajas. I only make 2 rally trainings before this rally. I just navigated last week with Pedro Bianchi Prata. He passed 2 days, tried to teach me like the basics, and we did some hard road book. Last year I got to win the overall championship, and I won Baja Portalegre overall too. In Portugal, everything that you could do, it's done. So the goal now is to go a bit higher. I rode the bike, first time rally bike yesterday, so I'm here like new. Everything is new. I'm trying to find like the balance between okay, go as fast as you can, because I want to do good. I'm in Portugal, but at the same time I don't want to push that limit that I don't want to crash and get hurt. Yeah, the main goal is get to the finish line.
The sun peeking out from behind the clouds as the cars finally prepared to start their rally. The ultimate drivers would set off in championship order, led out by the newly crowned Dakar champion, Nasser al-Attiyah. The Qatari explained that being the first car on these muddy tracks means you have no reference point for braking and it's hard to keep good speed. All in all though, he and Fabien Lurcan did a solid job, only dropping 3 minutes and staying out of major trouble, 9th place on the day. Others were not so lucky. Henk Laatigen lost over half an hour due to rear axle damage and Laia Sanz was forced to retire. As for Saud Variawa, he saw his overall hopes ruined after a run-in with a tree stump early in the stage, forcing him and co-driver Francois Cazelet into some bush mechanics. We were in a narrow section and we hit a tree stump, so we broke the brake disc. It got worse and we ended up damaging the hub completely. We're trying to build a makeshift replacement so that we can finish the stage. But if their day was bad, Ford's was an absolute disaster. Matthias Ekstrom and Carlos Sainz were both forced to withdraw from the rally due to serious mechanical issues. After an excellent Dakar, where they finished with 3 cars inside the top 5, this is a real blow to their championship hopes.
The team is investigating at the moment, trying to find out what is going on, because all the 4 seems to have the same problem.
You know, it's not about how many times you fall down, it's about how many times you get back up. And we will get back up and come back stronger.
The highest placed of the Dacia Sand Riders on this first stage was Sebastian Loeb, up in 3rd place. The WRC legend said it was tricky to manage the changing levels of grip throughout the day, but he avoided any major issues. He says that if today is anything to go by, this could turn into an elimination race. What do you get if you cross a parachute jump and a rally car? This incredible shot of Seth Quintero. Now, the American only arrived in Portugal yesterday after a tornado grounded his flight over, but he's definitely hit the ground running, taking second place today. According to Seth, mature driving is the way to survive this rally.
It's definitely tough to judge anything out there. You know, all of a sudden you're sliding and going faster, and then you get to the end of it, and sometimes it hooks up, sometimes it doesn't. So it was a little bit frustrating because I wanted to go fast, I wanted to go have a good time, but yeah, just slow it down and track through the mud and stay out of trouble.
Well, that philosophy was shared by the day's winner, João Ferreira, the Portuguese star getting off to the perfect start on home soil. He said that in these conditions, it is almost impossible to push hard because you are bound to hit trouble if you do. And what really matters to him is not landing stages, but taking that overall crown.
It was super slippery, super easy to make mistakes. We saw a lot of drivers already with problems and stops, so I think the race will be very demanding for us and for the mechanical side as well. Okay, just the first day of 5, so still a long way to go.
4 Toyotas in the top 5 today, with Guy Bottrill and Yazid Al-Raji finishing within a minute and a half of Ferreira. Pretty tight gaps across the board. Well, speaking of tight gaps, the closest battle of the day was fought in the SSVs, where the top 2 were separated by just 4 seconds after 180 kilometres. Luis Portela just missed out, but this was a positive start for a man who says he needs a good result this week. A risk-free approach paying off. Well, meanwhile, after winning the final 2 stages of last year's event, Luis Chidade picked up exactly where he left off, taking the day's spoils by that tiny margin of 4 seconds. The Portuguese driver has stepped up to the official Can-Am team, and he is determined to take victory on home soil this week.
So we started well, very well. The team is working good, the car is perfect, so let's try to attack tomorrow a little bit more and try to maintain the rhythm throughout the race, and my expectation is to win, so let's see how it goes.
Ricardo Porem snatched another win for Portugal in the Challengers as a lot of the big names struggled. Pau Navarro's prototype Viking stopped after 8 kilometres, and Daniel Akil also failed to finish. Porem with an absolutely sensational drive to finish 8th in the cars, faster even than Nasser al-Attiyah. He leads the class by over 3 minutes. Over in the stock category made up of the 3 defenders, there was another barnstorming battle between Mr. Dakar, Stefan Petterhansel, and young hotshot Rokas Baciuska. Petterhansel was pleasantly surprised with the car's performance in these conditions, saying that none of the Challengers or SSVs had managed to overtake them. Baciuska, however, did go slightly faster than his illustrious teammates. The Lithuanian was already Defender's best performer as he won the stock class at the Dakar, and he's relishing the prospect of another scrap with Stefan and Sarah Price.
Outside we are friends, but inside we are a competition. You know, everyone wants to show the best result, and yeah, everyone is like professional drivers, and yeah, let's see. 4 days more.
Here's how the top 3 line up in each of those classes, but there is still a long way to go. Join us again for stage 2, and thanks for watching.